You are now tuning back into the Lion's Den. We're about to tear up some topics, the current events happening in the world. What do you want to tackle first?
Well, I've been watching the news lately. I was looking at the situation over there, with this guy, this KKK member, White Citizen Council, whatever, had ran into this crowd of people. He killed one lady and injured 20 other people.
Yeah.
And then Donald Trump was asked about the situation, and Donald Trump couldn't call it what it was or what it is. And the ironic thing is that, that's what a lot of people of Donald Trump's status does. The powers to be, the elite, the rich, the 1% who control the 99% of the wealth of this country. That's exactly what they do. They hide behind what we call white supremacy. Now, a lot of people heard you and I speak about white supremacy as though we were, talking about some type of racial thing or some type of racist comments, like we was being racist. In reality, they have never in the history of this country heard white supremacy so much in the last 3 days. And that's all you hear about is white supremacy, white supremacy. And for those of you who've been tuning in to the Lion's Den, that's what I be talking about when I say white supremacy. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about systemic racism. One of the dudes that was on CNN, he said what Donald Trump is doing by not addressing the situation is he is legitimizing white supremacy, or the fact that, white people who are anti-black or anti-Jewish or anti-Arab or anti-Islam, and they believe that this is their country and that, they the white dominant power. It just legitimizes them and give them credence and make them feel like, they can practice, this white supremacy, on an all-time high. But what I try to tell white people, and I tell white people again, the only thing that the controllers of white supremacy do is offer you white skin. He make you believe because you're white, because you have white skin, that you're superior over another race. You, the one, are not benefiting from that. He benefits from that because as long as he can promote white supremacy, which is a religion, it's a religion. As long as he can promote white supremacy, then he continue to oppress the people of this earth. The people of what they would call color or the darker hued people. So, this is really what they do. They preach to the white people, the people that rule America and the people that pretty much dominate this country, because there's more white people than there's black folk. They preach to them that their white skin is better than dark skin. And as a result of that, this is what you have. You have people who go around with swastikas and go around preaching death to niggas and death to Jews and preach, go home and so on and so forth, because, the people who benefit, the people who are at the power, because, they're the white dominant structure, the white power base, they the one benefit from it. Those are the ones who actually reap the benefits. But as soon as these people get out of hand, as soon as these people do something that's crazy, and then it becomes domestic terrorism or it becomes a major problem. And the white people in rural America are the ones, in these trailer parks and these ones that's, living in impoverished communities. They don't understand what's going on. They don't understand that the dominant white people get them to do their bidding and get them to do their dirty work for them. And that's what you have. And I've been trying to tell people about this white supremacy. Ken's a racist. No. Even every news media is calling it what it is. It's white supremacy. The president just called it white supremacy because he was forced to call it. And that's what it is. It's just a systemic racism. It's a system that was started in 1635 under the doctrine of exclusion. Okay. And I explained to you how the doctrine of exclusion says that no white person should be inferior to a black person, that all black people should be inferior to white people, and the white people is the dominant race. And a black person should never be equivalent under no circumstances. This is a law that they enacted in 1635, the doctrine of exclusion. And so what a lot of people have to understand is that from that point on, by them saying that the white man was superior and that the black man was inferior, then they was able to justify slavery. Because if you're a superior race and you're dominating or you're oppressing an inferior race, which was that time was the black Africans who were enslaved in this country, or the Moorish Americans, then you were justified. So now slavery is over, they still have to justify why white people get certain privileges and black folks don't. And the reason why they oppress black folks and justify it. And as long as white people, poor white people, think that they're better than us and they think that their white skin gives them superiority over our black skin, then they're never going to stand up for justice. They're never going to say, hold on, wait a minute, you're incarcerating these people unjustly, or your system, which you benefit through prison industrial complex, where you lock up millions and millions of African Americans unjustly or on erroneous and fake crimes is unlawful. Then those people would be justified in saying, well, lock them up. We don't want them anyway. Incarcerate them. But most of the people that I met that were skinhead and that was Am Brotherhood, they was locked up with me too. Mm-hmm. So they need to wake up and realize that it's not us against us, it's us against them. Mm-hmm. It's just us. It's just them. That's what justice is. It's just them. And until we wake up, until we smell the coffee and realize that this problem is bigger than U.S. Steel, this problem is bigger than the information highway, the internet, we're going to continue to persist in our problems. And, like Donald Trump, he refused to mention the word white supremacy. It took him 2 or 3 days because the dude Banner, from Albright, he himself is a self-admitted racist. Some of them are overt with racism. Some of them, they've been brainwashed by the parents. They hate black folks, and they don't know why they hate black folks. But most of them who use us as monkeys, and as prisoners and slaves, they benefit from it. Mm-hmm. As long as you can have the majority of the people thinking that these group of people are savages and thugs and that they are Negroes and that they are weak people and they are inferior people, then no one is going to come to the justification or to the assistance of those type of people, because they're going to feel that their punishment and that their oppression is justified. That's what the white supremacists want them to think. That, you got to be a gangster, you got to be strapped, you got to walk around here, man, with the Draco, and then once they catch you, they incarcerate you, then they put you in a situation where you don't have no gun, you don't have no Draco, you don't have no Robin jeans, you don't have no True Religion, you don't have no jewels, you don't have no 38s, you don't have no 28s, you don't have no 30s, nothing. All you have is a number, and that's what they doing, and these guys, the ones in prison can hear what I'm saying. They'll be like, man, dude is on point. But, the guys that's out here in the streets, they don't know because they're caught up in the web. See, one thing about a spider is a spider is so brilliant. A lot of people never look at the spider, but check this out. Next time you look at a spider web, you're going to look at the spider hid in the corner. He's going to be nowhere in the web. And connected to his stomach is a piece of the web. So when a weak creature enter into the web, what it does is send a telegraphical message to the spider, let them know there's something that's entered into the web. Mm-hmm. And then once it enters into the web, the spider, it eases down into the web after the creature can't move and is weak. And then he sticks his needle into the fly or whatever's in the web, and he suck all the juices out of it. So you notice when you see a bunch of insects in the web, they be just there. You be like, when is the spider going to eat them? He don't eat them. He just suck the juices out of them. And he leave them dormant. And that's what white supremacy do. It set up webs for our young people. They don't eat them. They don't destroy them. It's the juices of them that suck their freedom out. It suck their manhood. It avoid them from opportunity to having children or being a community. And it just leave them in the web, which is the prison. And there, they die. They die, from lack of activity, lack of movement, They're being restricted. That's what a web does, it restricts you. Yeah. And that's what we see in our community. We see a lot of the young men caught up in the web of white supremacy in the web of systemic racism in our country that's running so prevalent and so pervasive.
Cool to come. 24/7.